Welcome to the Wellness on Tap podcast with your host, Dr. Debs Eastwood.
I know when we met up just recently, one of the things, it's just popped into my head, so I'm going to say it now before I forget, was about the book club type podcast that you do.
Yeah.
So over how many sessions do you tend to...
Well, we've been doing it for 3 years and we've done a session every week.
Wow. And does one book take 1 week? Or...
No, we do a book a month.
Okay.
And we break it down into that month. So sometimes it's 4 weeks, sometimes it's 5 weeks. And we just split the chapters down. And so far we've only, because she's up in Whitley Bay, so we haven't found anywhere we can meet yet. So it's just on Zoom at the moment. But it just means that we can just Zoom once a week, go through the chapters. It's kind of our own therapy session. And it keeps us consistent. It keeps us reading mindset books to help us through our ups and downs in our lives. And what we found is it really helped others. And we've got 6,500 listeners a month now.
Nice.
And covered 34 books. And yeah, it's just something that we just enjoy, like you do. And it's just, we've just been ticking away with it.
I mean, if you're doing something that's helping other people and it helps you with your own mindset, sanity, personal well-being, it's got to be a good thing, hasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, well, it feels good. It feels right. And it was organic. It's always been organic. And, you know, Anna doesn't mind me saying this, the other host. She's been working on trying to be seen. So it was my idea to kind of say, well, if you want to kind of be seen, start off with maybe the voice. And that's how it kind of started, like building up her confidence, because I'm okay with stuff like that, but she wasn't. So we've been helping each other throughout these years to grow each other. And now we're getting to a point where I think this year we're going to be a little bit more visual and people will see us, not just hear us, which would be quite nice.
That's lovely. What a nice progression.
Yeah, natural.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's why these podcasts that I'm doing are so freeform.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine anything worse than me sitting in, and this is just my opinion, for me it would feel really bad sitting there with a load of question prompts and, you know, imagine if I was trying to keep them out of the way down here a bit and, you know, my voice would be moving away and I'd be like stilted and just thinking about the questions that I'm going to ask instead of actually listening.
Exactly. Yes. Don't want scripted. And that's it. When it's not scripted, it's HollisticDrDebs.
Yay. We like that, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
So I was thinking back when we were like in my little break between guests waiting for you to arrive, that we met a few years ago now through a completely different field.
Yep.
So you're a field you're still in.
Yeah.
A field I have put very definitely on the back burner, but not switched off completely, which is property.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing that and what are your passions with that at the moment?
7 years now. We started in the February 2018 and that actually started through kind of my passion is the beauty side. I actually went self-employed. All my past jobs, I love the industry, but it was so corporate. We were talking a minute ago about health and I got a lot of burnout, got quite unwell and stuff. And I just thought, no, like this can't continue. So I went it alone and did my own thing. But, you know, you do quite quickly realize that you're now not just doing what you're good at. You now have got to be the marketing person and the treatment person, the sales person, the HR, the finances. You've got to be a bit of everything, got to wear all hats. So it was tough. But I remember kind of thinking, how can I find a way that I can do what I love? Because, you know, I went from a job to self-employed, but then realized I was working more hours, still being more burnt out. And the scary thing was, well, if I get sick, and we keep talking about health again, I actually don't get the support from the jobs anymore. How on earth do I survive? Like, what is plan B here? And that's kind of where it led me into property. My mind became opened. I actually became a part of Arbonne, which is like a multi-level marketing. I know people have different versions of it, but I believed in the products, vegan, organic, natural, and I wanted to use it within my beauty background business. But what I learned most from that business was the mindset. And they got me reading the right books, in my opinion, which then led me into Rich Dad, Poor Dad, property, looking at stuff. And then, as we know with social media, things pop up on your phone, don't they? And say, do this or look at this. And you're like, ooh, all the algorithms. And that's how I found out about property. And we just went all in back then. And it has created a life that I wanted 7 years ago now, because I basically had 2 years off. I traveled 6 months, got married, honeymoon for 2 weeks, lots of hen do's and 3 different hen do's. And I've just had this amazing time, and it's all been based around property and what it's been able to give me. But it's not my passion.
And therein lies the rub. Yep. I mean, it's wonderful what you've managed to create.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
With your now husband.
Yes, with Nick. Yeah, and it's not been easy. It's definitely hard. You know, if it was easy, everybody'd do it. And you can make money while you sleep, but it can also be a job if you're not systemizing, and there are stresses and all the things that come with property. And I just see it as a vehicle. It's a vehicle. I love what it's created for us. I'll still keep doing it. But I think the time's come that I can start going back to my roots, which is the holistic stuff.
So where did that all first start then? Where did your interest?
When I was younger, I guess like fast forward and rewind, hindsight now when I look at things, I'm like, oh, this makes sense. I'm lately diagnosed ADHD, and no one knew it. I mean, back then, did you really anyway? You just kind of get on with stuff, don't you? Or whatever. And I would just jump from different things. I didn't really know what I wanted. I don't think many people do when you're younger, but I knew I wanted to help people. I knew I wanted to travel. And it started off with just beauty, because my mum just said, what do you think you could do anywhere in the world? Even if you couldn't speak the language, like a trade or something, maybe start there and see where it takes you. And I thought, well, that makes sense. I don't really know where I want to go. I didn't feel like uni was for me at the time. So I ended up going into beauty. And that then, the first couple of years wasn't me, because I'd never worn makeup. I was a proper tomboy, which I'm so not now. It's so funny, but I was a proper tomboy, very natural, like doing makeup lessons and doing all the beauty stuff. It's just faffy. But then massage came along. Oh, and I loved it. Oh, I fell into it. Aromatherapy, different essential oils to help aid. I was massaging people, and people say, oh, you shouldn't, but people with cancer, and helping and doing certain treatments where you can actually see. Like, I would be able to identify just by a back massage if they were a smoker or not, or if they had issues with their kidneys. You know?
Wow.
And that was just fascinating to me. And I learned the anatomy and physiology. I ended up actually lecturing. I became a teacher within the A&P and Indian head massage and hot stones. And I absolutely loved it. And the therapeutic results, what we call healing crisis, I seen, because you don't know if you believe in it initially. You get taught about it. But I don't think until you really get in, do you really, and you see it, the amount of people that I helped get those results where they just have this, they just cry or break down, or there's something that happens within the alignment of your chakras and the energies, and just by touching an area, it can just set on like that. And I was just like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
How incredible are we to help people realign energies and de-stress? And yeah, that was the beginning for me. That's when I knew I'd found what I loved. But then I just chased money after that. You know, traveling and money, and I lost my way, actually. I think a lot, it's easy to just try, and I think people think money's the answer, but I think as I've got older, it doesn't have to be. I mean, now I'm in a position where there are things that's helping me to be able to do more passionate stuff, but I think there's another way, and I think I could have done it better in hindsight. But this is part of the path.
Isn't it?
You know?
I mean, hindsight is just such an accurate science, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because all we're doing is looking back. But society pushes us to chase money anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It puts it right up there on the pedestal that if you've got money, you can do absolutely everything. And if you haven't got money, sorry, mate, you're stuck and you can't do anything.
If you don't know how to manage money,
what can I say?
you can get into debt. You can have, like with the ADHD, looking back, I spent stuff that I couldn't even afford at times. I got myself into silly positions because of the dopamine fixes, the needs and the wants that I didn't really need or want either. You just, marketing again, lures you in, and then you feel trapped because you're now in a vicious cycle of, I now need to pay for that. It's like, oh, the nice car. Oh, now I feel trapped in a job because I actually have to make the money to pay for that car. Like, do we need all these things? Like certain things, yes, but you can overdo it, I think.
I completely agree with that. And again, we're pushed into that, aren't we? It's always keeping up with the Joneses and these fake personalities on social media.
Yeah. It could be ego as well. I think there's a lot of things where you, like when I was younger as well, I was like, I want to be this corporate manager. I want to be this and I want to be that and I want to be the best. I was on Harley Street and I loved that. And I was like saying, like, you know, people see Harley Street on telly. I'm training doctors skincare on Harley Street and stuff like that and helping other people, which is cool. I was able to do that, but it was just another level of like, actually, when I look back, it's a bit ego-y. And it's chasing the money and there was stress and it wasn't what it was cracked up to be.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because that is the place, isn't it, in the UK where people go to meet the top medics.
Yeah. And scientifically, sure, that's where they all are and all of that kind of stuff. But I did get, you know, like I've had all the Botox, I've had the fillers from the age of 21. I mean, that's not holistic. Where did that go? Do you know what I mean? It was so easy to just, again, have and want an image that you like and you lose yourself. And I think over the years, I just lost myself bit by bit. And it's only really since the book club and, you know, mindset and also getting older and being more comfortable within yourself as well. Just like, you know, you can, the self-talk, the language we use within ourselves. And, you know, you wouldn't talk like that to a friend. And I know lots of people say that now, but it's true, you wouldn't. So why do we do it to ourselves? So I think I was quite harsh on myself for a long, long time. And I think I was trying so hard to look a certain way, to be a certain way, to fit a image. And I think that's how we can lose our way. You're not really thinking about, who you are, what you want and where it comes from. And it's only until recently, actually, more the traveling, the spiritual awakenings or whatever you'd like to call it, the understanding of ADHD, the moons, perimenopause, all this stuff that you start thinking, nutrition, health. I'm like, oh my God, Holly, it's all connected. You were right there. You had like the answers right there when you were doing all the holistic stuff. And then you lost your way. So yeah, I'm on this journey back. That's kind of where
That's wonderful. Yeah. To be coming back.
Yes. Yeah. I guess it's a good thing because I kind of tried everything, you know, and it's still not the answer.
Got it out your system, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you mentioned a couple of the things that are now thought of as being an unhealthy side of the sort of beauty and aesthetics world, Botox especially.
Yeah, toxins.
Yes. And yet people put all that to one side, don't they? And are so driven by what the outcome of that is.
Yeah.
And I feel really strongly that is what is happening now with these weight loss injections.
Yeah.
What do you think?
100%. It's funny because there's a lot of people that probably wouldn't take the COVID jab, but now would take this and people think it's safe and not. I mean, it's your body, I guess, you know, there's going to be levels of safety and testing that they have done, but it still is a toxin in your body that your body doesn't recognize. I mean, it's hard. I'm still unlearning some things because as a salesperson in the industry, you get told a lot of things. I believed a lot of things. And I'm still looking at the sciences of stuff. But like for me, like it was like Botox was a preventative. If you have it younger and you don't have any lines formed, then when you're older, you can kind of stop the Botox because then you haven't really created the lines. I mean, within a year of stopping Botox, I had lines immediately and I'd never had lines my whole life and I hadn't even moved my forehead my whole life. So I was a bit like, well, that was wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you just think, well, that's not right. And then I was kind of thinking with all this face yoga, maybe going off topic here, but like,
no.
I was kind of thinking, well, that makes sense. If you don't use a muscle in your body, if you didn't use your legs ever, could you stand? Is there tone? Is there strength? And I'm like, there's muscles in our face. why, like, how have I not seen this sooner? And then it's the quick fixes, isn't it? You just think, but it was a quick fix and it was safe. And I was also told, like, you know, Botox is injected into babies for certain health conditions and can help them, and at a much stronger percentage than what you would get in your forehead. So I'm like, well, there you go. Safe, fine, I'm going to do it. But it's still a toxin in your body.
Yeah. I mean, we choose what's right for us at the time, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, I won't judge anybody for doing what they do.
And if you want to do
it might not be within my belief system, but that doesn't matter. That's on me.
Yeah.
You know, if that person, fine.
Yeah.
You know.
It's so, you know, and like filler, it's a hyaluronic acid found in your body and all this kind of stuff. So it's safe. But then I have had the horror stories where, you know, I'm a beauty therapist, and sorry, any beauty therapist out there that's doing injectables, I do think we need to leave it to the medical professionals if you're going to do it. Because I've seen where they are injecting into vessels. People losing noses, like, you know, losing circulation in their faces and stuff because the person doing it doesn't know the anatomy, doesn't know what they're doing. That scares me.
Scary.
Yeah. And I'm a therapist, so I don't mind saying that because I would never do that. But again, is it for the money? It's good money.
Yeah.
It's really good money.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
People feel good for having it. But yeah, personally, I've learned to kind of, step away and find natural things. I'm on this natural journey. So not only the holistic stuff with the massage, like lymphatic massage. Oh my goodness, so good for you.
Wonderful practice.
Yes. So I'm looking into parasite cleansing at the moment. I know naturally you are going to always have parasites in your body, good, bad. But there is a lot of bad in there that we haven't got rid of and our body's not knowing how to get rid of. So I'm really looking into that.
Does that come under the sort of colonic stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's part of it. But you can have tinctures and there's certain things that you can have that can help kind of
help things to pass.
To move, help with your digestion. But if you think about it, it all starts in the gut anyway. If you've got a bad gut, you know, things. I'm actually detoxing at the moment and I'm actually getting rashes and reactions, and that's part of the process.
Yeah.
You're going to get reactions before you heal because your body's kind of freaking out a little bit. So you got to, so there's things like that I'm really interested in as well. And yeah, I guess it's just, I'm looking at HIFU, facial treatments, anti-aging treatments. There are things you can do.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to just be the toxin side. So
absolutely.
If you are looking into it and you don't know which way to go, you know, you can try some holistics first, some treatments that can help. Doesn't have to always be the quick fix. It takes more time, but...
Absolutely. And I mean, there's so many things out there now that are starting to come into being, aren't they, that are purely natural.
Yeah. The kind of... is it the trend or the wagon or whatever? It's kind of coming. Like people are being a bit more aware again. I think people are waking up to it all, and people want more of the natural look now, whereas before, kind of the fake look was in. You know, the big lips, and even the celebrities, you know, have, you know, the reductions and stuff now to try and be more natural. So it's trending, I guess, which is a shame that just because that's what's in, people are now deciding that, but at least it's happening, I think.
Yeah.
And people being aware of, you know, actually I can be natural and love myself. I don't have to look a certain way. We're all going to start looking the same else. Got to be comfortable
yourself.
in individuality in your looks.
Yeah, I mean, that brings up so many little points. The first one that screams at me is how social media primarily, but not just for any other type of media, puts so much pressure on us.
Yeah.
But at least this time, if it's reversing the trend and heading towards more natural things, hopefully that's going to be a really positive
definitely
trend.
I think there's a lot of young people out there that a lot of them aren't drinking or smoking really these days. A lot of them are quite savvy with health, actually. So I think, you know, it's quite nice to see this new generation of kind of health. I mean, sometimes I'm a bit like, oh, just go and get drunk. It was fine. You'll be fine. Live a little. You're quite young. You can have a little bit of fun. Do it while your liver and kidneys can probably handle it. But at the same time, I'm just like, oh, well done them. You know, it's a choice. And gosh, you know, why not? Like, it's good for you.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not saying get drunk, but you know what I mean? It's just kind of like I almost thought, gosh, they're like being quite rigid. have a bit of fun. But then I'm like, no, it's really nice to see that they've educated themselves and they've made a choice.
Yeah, respecting their bodies in the way that they feel is appropriate for them.
100%. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know how the younger generation deals with social media and AI and the pressures on that now. I don't even know how they did it because I didn't have that when I was young. No. But I did have like, your Britney Spears and the music videos and the magazines that was like showing a stick thin person saying that this stick thin person's fat. I mean, I thought I was obese. I thought I was so big. I look back now and think, oh my God, I was tiny.
Yeah.
I can't believe I wasted all my youth on worrying what I looked like, basically. And I just think it's probably still the same, especially with the social media, if not worse. Mm-hmm. It's quite scary.
Do you know what? A thought popped into my head the other day. Standing in the kitchen, minding my own business, I think I was boiling the kettle to make a cup of something really mundane. And a story from a girls' magazine back when I was, just pre-teens probably.
Yeah.
And it was one of these weekly magazines with lots of these pictures and, your double page spread of whoever was in the charts at the time. And they got this story, and it was a series of photos with the captions on. And all I can remember is there was this guy who was blind. Maybe this is what made me think of it, because he was making a cup of tea for a potential girlfriend in this magazine. And he said, and his bubble popped up and he said, well, this is really going to hurt now, but I've got to put her off me because I'm blind. What?
Yeah.
And I thought that was the sort of stuff that was being given out.
Yeah.
As being normal.
Yeah. Scary.
You can't have X, Y, Z because of.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think there's things that have got better. That's got better, hasn't it?
Yeah, that wouldn't go down nowadays,
would
it?
Down now, for sure.
Thank goodness.
And I think there's a lot of language even in social media. Like, yes, there is pressure, I think, on trends or images and the fact that people do the blurred so they just look flawless all the time, which in person they don't look like that. But that's bad. But I do think the language is better. I do think that's helping. But I still don't think there's enough holistic stuff going on. I don't. And I think what you're doing is incredible. It's educating. Really is. I think, again, I think lots of people will lose their way and some people think it's faff or not real. But when you start to see those results, or like for me, when I did the massage and I was helping people and getting the results, and you see and the feedback you get, I mean, it can't not be real.
That must have been amazing. Can you share one or two confidentially, obviously?
Yeah, totally. So there was a couple, like just basic knowledge of knowing how the body works. But, there's someone coming to me saying they can't sleep, they never sleep, they're stressed. And just listening to them and then doing a massage treatment based on what they tell me. So I focused in on that session on what they needed. I believed it was mainly the gut again. So I focused in on the gut. No, not really many massage therapists touch the guts anymore. Who goes to a massage now, even in a spa? Do they touch your stomach? No. They should.
Unless you have a full body and then it's
But even then, they don't even, not that I've experienced.
Arms, isn't it?
Yeah, legs, arms, and mainly the back and neck and stuff. They don't focus there. It's such a delicate area. It's really interesting. We got taught it in college. Masseuses know how to do it. They just don't do it. I don't understand. So I focused on that area. And just the advice was, do you eat after 7? Yeah, I do. Well, don't. Just make sure you do eat, but eat before 7 and you'll sleep. Literally the next day they come to me and they were like, best sleep I've ever had. And I was like, oh, that's nice. And then, when you get the feedback later on going, just that alone, focusing on my gut, knowing what to eat, not to eat, drink, timings, was life-changing for that person. So that was just like a nice result.
That's lovely.
But the healing crisis one, that was the Indian head massage. And that is really all about the chakra and the balancing. And if you are unbalanced, when you do the certain techniques, you're kind of removing everything back. And a healing crisis can be anything. And the client that I had, it actually shocked me at first because it was at the very end of the treatment, you kind of cradle the head and then you kind of finish with a little touch on the temple. And I was like, oh, the end. And I always had bare feet, so I was grounded. I always gave, it wasn't just the treatment, it was like everything that you had to heal that person after the consultation as well. And as soon as I touched the forehead, they went into hysterical laughter, like uncontrollable, kind of like, I almost want to do, I'm a kind of action person, but I can't because the mic's in the way, but kind of like head to the floor almost, like head back, like complete over the top laughter, like to the point that they wouldn't normally do that because they'd feel ridiculous. I mean, it's not because you're in a safe space, but they couldn't believe it. And then that started going into crying.
Yeah.
So the laughter went into sobbing and then tears and then confusion. And you actually do, within the consultation, explain that this could happen and these are the types of things that can happen, but you don't ever know what would happen. And you don't really tell them what happens. You just say there can be like an alignment and you'll have something what they call like a healing experience, but you don't, sometimes it's more like a headache or thirst. Because it's a funny one because this particular person, I didn't say crying or laughter. I knew that could be a possibility, but I never experienced it.
Yeah.
So when I did, I was just like, no way, because this person, and they were really stressed, depressed. So they were out of alignment. And they just said they never felt so good. It was like they were healed. Now, of course, one treatment can't just heal you, but they felt healed. They felt at ease. They didn't feel, I guess, erratic or something. But yeah, they were afterwards. Once they calmed down, I was like, how are you feeling? And they were just like, what was that? I was like, that's you healing. That's you your body's trying to sort itself out. And that's kind of how it's sorted itself out for you. And every experience is different. But that's when I believed. I was like, that's nuts, because full-grown man that would never cry in that day and age. It wasn't, obviously that's not what I believe, but that's kind of what it was. Yeah, that was the reaction. I just thought, wow.
That's really profound, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the body does release things like that, doesn't it? Through literal release of tears, but also the emotive release.
Yeah. It's like even when you're listening to music, it's therapy, isn't it? Like there's certain songs I listen to raise my vibrations. If I'm feeling a little bit out of sorts, I'll play it and I'll put it on in the car the other day, actually trying to do the opposite, trying to give me energy. But I started crying, and it's a happy song.
Yeah.
But it filled me with this energy or this thing. And I thought, oh my God, it feels like I need to release. Like, I don't know what it is, but I just went with it. And it's like, you get it out and I'm like, oh, I feel like I've recalibrated. Have you ever had that where you just feel like, I'm happy, so why do I want to cry? But there's this overwhelming urge to just...
You have to.
Yeah. And it felt great. And I loved the song and it was everything. But I was just like, I'm literally like going somewhere that I wanted to be. I mean, I was obviously okay, but it was like, I need to now be happy. I'm going somewhere for something else. It almost made you feel like you just want to go back and curl up a little bit and continue with the healing. But I was like, this is not the time, Holly. This wasn't planned. But also you got to listen to your body, I think. And I think that's probably what we're not doing enough of either. So.
Oh, I hear that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. How often do we just ignore all the triggers and the signals?
Yeah.
And allow them to build up and build up and build up and build up.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are scared because it's like Pandora's box. I think if you haven't dealt with it, or you've not spoken to a coach or a therapist or whatever it is, your past triggers or whatever the alignment might be out of alignment, it may not be like stress. It might actually be other things, abuse, anything like that. You just don't really know. And then when you start to look at it, I think it's opening Pandora's box, and then you become aware. And although that's really good to become aware, it's quite scary.
That was the word that was popping into my head there, that, the potential is.
Yeah.
But I think so long as the person that you are having that experience with, the therapist, for want of a better word, is experienced in taking you through and successfully out the other side of that.
You need to have a safe space.
You absolutely need to have a safe space. Yeah. That is critical, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that's hard to find as well. I've actually gone through therapy in the past and it was diabolical, private, paid for. They actually started crying and basically said that they've never heard anything so awful because of what I explained, my past experience that I had burning inside that I felt like I needed to tell somebody. And I was like, oh, that wasn't what I was expecting. And I just felt really let down. I was like, oh God. And then you kind of start to go, oh. And it was easy then not to find another therapist. But I've always kind of thought, no, there's always someone right that's out there. It's just that's not right. Not a good experience. So yeah, anyone that's listening, if you're looking, you'll find somebody, but don't give up. It's just crazy. It's hard to find safe space, but if you can, stick with it.
Yeah, definitely. It's valuable, isn't it? Yeah. Somebody that you've got a rapport with, that you resonate with.
The trust, need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's not there. And that's not bought by money, is it?
Well, that's it. I just thought that's the answer, but no, I think you need to kind of have those consultations where remember that when you're speaking to a therapist, they're not necessarily the professional. You've also got to interview them because you know yourself. You've got to believe that you know what's right for you. You'll get a vibe if you listen.
Yeah.
It's again, like how many times have you got a gut feeling like that person and then something happens and you're like, oh God, I had a really bad feeling about that and I didn't listen to it. With all things in life,
I was just going to say, and have you never, sometimes not listened to it and thought, why didn't I listen to that?
Yeah, I think we know more than we let on. And I think that's the holistic side, isn't it? I think, again, with our busy lives, work, money, social media, whatever, it's just noise. And then we can't hear ourselves. We're too busy. Multitasking. There's times that I'm like writing, listening, cleaning. I'm doing like 3-4 things at once. I'm thinking, how am I meant to hear what's going on inside? Meditation.
Yeah, there we go. Having time to just be in the present.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the best answer for it, isn't it? To practice that peacefulness and listen. And then it gets easier, I think.
I think we all do have time, but we put ourselves at the bottom of the pile.
Last, yeah.
Because the environment around us, society around us, gives so much more value to doing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's too hectic still. Life's just crazy busy all the time. And I think even with the entrepreneurial side of things, people are like, wake up at 5 a.m, 5 a.m. club and do this, and that's the only way you're going to be successful. I'm like, no, just listen to your body. Like, I now don't have alarms. I mean, I know I get to have the choice too, but my body wakes up. If you are going to bed at the right times for what you need, you're not pushing through and just watching telly until silly o'clock or scroll on your phone till silly o'clock, and you have good routines and you just listen, you actually don't need alarms. It's not stressful. You're not got something going making you go in the morning and starting you off wrong. You're already like needing to be recalibrated.
Yes. Just
by an alarm. I think it's so stressful.
Yeah.
But then, waking up at 5 and then doing this and doing that. I think, I have done all those things, and I think maybe people should do it just to know, but you need to do what works for you.
Yeah.
And every single person will be different. And I guess you got to try stuff, but personally, that definitely doesn't help me. So there's people saying you got to be busy, you got to be this. And I'm like, actually, you can be really productive and not work that hard, if that makes sense. You can do like a couple of hours a day and be more successful than someone that works 5 a.m. till midnight.
There's that expression, isn't there? Being a busy fool.
Yes. Oh, and I think we've all been there. I definitely have. And again, I think it's awareness, opening up Pandora's box and looking in a little bit and just seeing what works, what doesn't work, what makes you to function at your best without actually breaking yourself.
Yeah.
And that's holistic, isn't it? That's therapy in itself.
It is. And if you've got somebody there who can guide you through those processes so you are safe, then the body will heal itself.
Incredible. What's your view on like fasting and things? Because I've learned a lot of that and I've done a bit of healing with it and I've got good results, Would you?
Yeah. I don't think it works for everybody.
No, sure.
Because I think the people it doesn't work for have perhaps got an awful lot else going on in their heads that's still providing some kind of block.
Yeah.
But I know it works for all sorts of people. Yeah. And it kind of goes back to how we were. many, 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 many hundreds of years ago when we were going out and having to catch our own food. We might not have eaten all day or for 2 days. Maybe just had a handful of berries or something, whatever we could forage. But when we were out hunting, we didn't get 3 meals a day.
No.
We fasted then. It was a natural state of being.
Yeah. And you can provide, that gives you energy. It gives you healing. I felt so healed afterwards, actually, because it gives your gut chance again to do what it needs to do. Is it, I'm not very good with remembering the names, but I think it's autophagy, where your body starts to get rid of all the bad cells and reheals itself. I think that's just incredible. And I did a 4-day one. I tried to get to 7. That is quite hard.
Just on a water fast?
Oh, yes. Well, actually, saying that, there's now apparently science, if you have high fat, like half an avocado or a boiled egg, you can still stay in a fasted state. You just got to check your blood to check that it didn't, so there's a bit of
ketotic,
learning.
Sort of.
Yeah, you got to, because some people can have coffee and it doesn't take them out of a fasted state. Other people can, and it can take them out of a fasted state. So you've got to do a couple of tests before you go down that route. But you've got to, you either got to do it with somebody, or because if you're a personality where you're like, I'm going to do this, if it's not safe or healthy to do so, you don't know when to stop. So I think that's something you've got to be careful, because it's quite extreme, and you've got to prepare for it. I'm not telling anyone to go off and just do 7 days, but I really planned, prepared my body, got people there. So if I did decide like, no, I'm going to keep going, if I was going to pass out or something, someone would stop me. But yeah, I couldn't do any more than 4 personally. It's really tough.
I could say that sounds like a major achievement to me.
It was good. Yeah, it was good. And the results were incredible. Like, I am allergic to everything. No joke. Animal fur, grass. Like, when I went traveling, I'm not allergic to anything abroad, but I'm allergic to chlorine and the sun. So any swimming pool or any sun, like terrible rashes. But then when I'm here, there's obviously not much sun, but it's all the plants, all the animals. I never got that abroad, and it was really frustrating. But when I did the fast, I didn't have any reactions.
That speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As to you are inadvertently making your body allergic to things.
Yeah. Or more sensitive, you know? You're kind of putting, like, it does matter what you put in your body. And I'm actually on a nutrition course, and I've got a love for that, because the more I see on social media and the stuff that I'm educating myself with, I'm like, I want to know the real facts here. And I find it fascinating. And it's like all this stuff that's it's inflammatory, isn't it? I can't think of the word, inflaming your body. Like internally, you're constantly in this kind of fight or flight. So then, of course, when something like that happens,
that's it.
But as soon as I healed it, I didn't really react, you know? Yeah. It did eventually come back. I must say I did start to, because for me, I did struggle to keep an 80-20 lifestyle with it. And that's a mindset thing. And I'm working on it. Like, we're human.
Of course.
But yeah, if you go a little bit extreme with it, you can get really good results. You can. I've seen it and experienced it.
I mean, the only fasting I've ever done is the daily fasting, where, you know, you wake up and you just drink water until, you know, whenever, tea time.
Yeah. I actually love doing that, and I got into a good routine. But actually what I then found was it stopped my digestive system. So now we're talking about all that. Like, I wasn't regular. And you're meant to be going like 3 times a day for your number 2s. And I was like, oh gosh, that's not me. I was like once every couple of days at one point, because when you fast, you're not actually waking anything up. You're actually slowing everything down. So there is like limitations. So now I will have breakfast earlier in the morning, so that I can wake everything up, get things moving, but I will stop eating earlier.
Yeah, do it that way around
in the day,
instead.
do it that way around. So I am still kind of fasting, but it's a way that it works for me. And I think that's something that everyone has to experience and learn. And I think there isn't a right or wrong. You just got to, again, listen. Yeah. And so now I'm regular. You know, I go more than once a day. I'm detoxifying, but I'm also healing. And,
excellent,
you know, but it takes time, I think, to figure out.
Yeah, it does.
It can be a bit of a maze, I think, all this stuff that you hear and what you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I've changed certain things in my diet. And I think, you know, if I'm out and about eating, I can't necessarily control what's being put in. Yeah. So if I'm at home and I make myself a breakfast that I know is healthy, that I know is good for me, and I'll take it with me.
Nice.
And I might not eat it until lunchtime.
Yeah.
But at least I am in control of that one meal.
Yep.
And water, I drink the best quality water that I can get hold of.
Oh, yeah. Your session, that was incredible. I need the tap. I want it installed.
Excellent. We can work that out because, I mean, my kids use it all the time. And you know what? Okay.
Again, that reduces inflammation, right? So
it is the body's best antioxidant, the molecular hydrogen that's in there. It reduces all the inflammation. And it's natural. And it's water because we all have it. But I started giving it to my cats. So I have 2 cats. And like typical cats, they don't drink very much, and the bowls of water would be ignored, and they'd go outside to have a drink, or they'd jump up into my sink when the tap had stopped dripping.
They like the running water, don't
and
they?
drinking there. So I bought one of these fountains where it circulates the water. They were both terrified of it. I'm like, oh, for goodness sake, what are we going to do? And of course, I filled it with first stage alkaline, molecular hydrogen water, ultra filtered.
Wow.
And now, wet food, put a bit of wet food in their bowl and go just under the tap, like just a little bit. Yeah. Every single meal. Their coat, and they've been doing this for a month and a half, 2 months now. Mm-hmm. Their coats are soft and shiny.
Healthier.
And the larger of the 2 cats, sorry, Jessie, that's her name. They were both rescues nearly 6 years ago, and she was fat when we got her, and she's still fat now. That's just her. She can now reach round and lick her backside, and she couldn't before. Sorry, cat.
Like aches and pains and stuff, I guess. It's the joints, is it?
Exactly. She's more flexible. She can, and I'm just like, oh.
You're
and her
seeing
mood's
a difference.
better. Her mood is better.
Yeah.
And that all fits together, that maybe there was some sort of pain she was experiencing there. Yeah. And that's just adding water into her diet.
But like with the education we got based around this hydrogen, like alkaline, is it alkaline?
Yeah, ionizers, which is alkaline or acidic.
So that's the incredible thing. So if you think that the amount of chlorine and the chemicals in the water, and like they always say, the hormone pill and everything's mixed in there as well and all that kind of stuff, no matter how much you filter it, there's certain things you can't filter, right? And if we're drinking that, I mean, I love animals, but like their little bodies.
I know.
They're getting like what the percentage we're getting, but they're so much smaller. Yeah. So it would make total sense that you're going to get a better result for their little bodies.
I mean, this stuff goes through a filtration system, ultrafiltration, down to kidney dialysis machine level.
Incredible.
Where these machines are manufactured, they are manufactured as medical devices because they're that good.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're getting results like that, you can't deny it. No. You've got to just share it.
Exactly, and it's just water, for God's sake.
I shared it with my friend, actually, because she stopped filtering her tap water, and her tap water tastes lovely, but I was a bit like what they were saying with London, wasn't it? They were saying how, like, ours is softer and not as harsh, but actually there's more chemicals than you realise, and it's like, oh, okay, let's think about it. So I re-educated her, and she's onto your stuff, so she's looking into it. Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, I wash all my veggies in the special water. There's lots of settings.
I know.
And the special water, because like in the demo when they showed us
the tomatoes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So you wash.
I mean, anything soft anyway. Tomatoes is a good example, but think of grapes. Anything that's got a skin that's absorbing all of these pesticides.
Yeah, exactly. And they think by washing it under the tap, you're cleaning it, and you may well be washing off the pesticides, but you're washing on chlorine.
Yeah.
So
I don't even think that there is washing off the pesticides, because it's not the right pH level, is it really? It's not the right correct thing. And I think you're just washing off the mud if there's mud on the vegetables, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the other thing is all the vegetables and that we get, even the tomatoes, they're very low nutrients as well, aren't they? We're not really getting fully what we need these days. And that's another thing. But I will say this, and I don't know whether this is my opinion completely, but there's a lot of books that I read, and I love all this nutrition stuff, and I'm still obviously learning my journey and stuff. But I do think UK is better. I think a lot of what we're reading is very American.
Oh, that's interesting.
And when you look at it, like they have got issues over there in the sense of, providing fresh fruit and the mass production of everything over there.
Yeah.
And the chemicals, because even with like, is it FDA? It's FDA,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it? There's rules over there. Like there's products, there's actually, within the beauty world that I've just come from, in America, there's like cancer-causing ingredients that are still allowed in skincare over there and that you're absorbing into your body. We don't have that here. You can't get away with that here.
No.
And it's the same, I think, with, I feel like I know from what I've researched, from what I do know, the rules and stuff, it's a bit more regulated. So we can't really get things in our shops. They still have stuff, sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But not to the extent of when you start listening to stuff online.
Yeah.
Instagram, snippets. I mean, this is how scary actually social media is there's a guy on YouTube, it was part of the Diary of a CEO, and he actually said that fish was really good for you, but he said a certain type of fish. I can't for the life of me think what it was, but I had a friend who said she'd watched it, but she didn't watch it. She watched a 1-second clip of it or something where it basically said, fish is bad, don't eat fish. Because that was a narrative that someone wanted her to see, or the algorithm. And she was like, oh, I'll never eat fish again. Whereas actually, certain types of fish, if they come from sustainable places or, you know, it's going to give you the nutrients that you're lacking, that you need for your brain and all that kind of stuff. Exactly. Forget all like the vegan or the veggie stuff at the moment, but just in the sense of nutrition values. Yeah. And her messaging that she got from just a clip on social media was, it's bad.
That's scary, isn't it?
And I was like, it's a 30-minute YouTube video of a scientist talking about it. You need to watch the 30 minutes, the full thing, because you've just literally got one person's trying to...
Needs context.
Oh, yeah, totally. She got all the wrong context and had changed her life because of that. That was scary for me. I was like, that's the world that we live in now. How many other people are just looking at a 1-second short video clip?
Yeah, and getting the wrong information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I heard once when I was doing all the studying for the multi-nutrient and multivitamin IVs that I do, part of the thing that they came up with that I'd heard before was if you were to eat one orange nowadays, you get a certain amount of nutrition and, you know, vitamin value from it. But to get the equivalent of what you would have from eating one orange in the 50s, you would have to eat 20 nowadays.
It's insane, isn't it?
Because of processing and just,
Yeah. And it's the same. People are trying to juice that stuff. And I've never become a juicer, actually, because through my learnings of it, when you blend something like that, the sugars are actually not good for you. If you eat it whole, it's different. Your body can handle it.
It has fibre and more fibre in it, doesn't it, when you eat it whole?
Whereas when you blend it, you can actually lose a lot of the goodness as well. It becomes pure sugar rather than what it's meant to do. And I'm like, ooh, it's another thing that people don't get told. You know, so then people are probably blending like 20 oranges thinking that's the best thing for them, but it's not going to help their guts at all.
No, can you imagine that?
Be very gripey.
yeah, that would upset your tummy, wouldn't it? Especially if you were doing that all the time.
Yeah, totally.
No good at all. So where do you see your obvious holistic passion taking you? What's the journey? What's the plan? Have you got one yet?
I do. We spoke a lot about it, and it's very scary to say out loud. And actually, I was actually talking to you going, I don't think you want me on this podcast yet. Because saying it out loud makes it really real. But it's about a sanctuary. It's very different to a spa. It will be all about health and healing. And I've got very big visions within the next, I keep saying 3 to 5 years. This is going to be huge. But I think it's going to be sooner than that.
Good.
So, yeah, because like I was saying, even just things with like the treatments that people are providing these days, you know, and actually if anyone's hearing this and they can direct me to people that can massage your stomach. And when you say, oh, do you do lymphatic massage? It's just physiotherapy or just a back massage. And so no one seems to understand these holistic terms, you know. I feel like I can find a lot of Reiki and I feel like I can find a lot of energy healing. But when it comes to actually body healing, there's no one out there, I think, that's really doing those things. And I've tried finding these things. And so I really want to put together something where we have a all under one roof, therapeutic, healing space.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And again, working on the moons, hormones.
Yeah.
All of that. We've got to, I think, who was it was saying again? I think it was like promoting Diary of a CEO here, but like there was another scientist that was kind of saying stuff like, I've lost my trail of thought. What were they saying? It was about, you have to edit that. I can't think.
Don't worry about it. We're having a conversation.
I know. That went really blank then because I really wanted to tell you about the scientists, what they said. Oh, well, it'll come back to me.
Good. Well, blurt it out when it does. We're quite ready for that. But I think your space, I completely agree with you. It needs to come sooner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Than 3 to 5 years.
There's not enough people doing it or not enough places that hold it.
Exactly. You know? Especially up north.
Yes. Oh, that's true.
Especially up north.
I know. So it is exciting to be able to do that, to be able to give back, to be able to help, people through all the holistic well-being. There's like individual people. I think a lot of people that are holistic when it comes to business, because my background is actually business and sales. But what I've found, and that's why I think is a lot of missing, is that people that help and that are kind do struggle to ask for money in return as a service. They start to give stuff for free, or they sometimes don't think they're good enough, I think, because of the personality they are. And there's nothing wrong with that, but they're just very caring, giving people. To then create kind of this huge business can be quite overwhelming.
For sure.
For that personality that is so, that carer. It's almost like the opposite when you look at kind of the wealth dynamics and different personality traits. So I just think maybe it's just not happened yet because it hasn't quite, I've seen a couple in London, but it's not quite there yet. Mm-hmm. They only specialize in one thing, but they're getting there. But like you say, nothing really up north. Yeah. It's just like individual people that might do work from their own home. Yes. Or from a rented room. Yeah. And that's great that they're providing those services. Yes. But you're still having to, well, where do I go for this or where do I go for that?
Absolutely. To have it under one roof is an absolute dream of mine as well, which we share. Yeah. To be able to have a personalised, tailored package of things that you actually want to engage with for your own health and well-being.
Consultations and get guidance. Yeah. Because again, if you're seeing on the social media, you're going to be so lost and confused of what's right because one person's saying their narrative of what should is good and someone else is saying theirs, but they're not really telling you what your best interests are and what you need and what you're lacking. And that can only be through consultation and guidance and tests and,
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah. And I mean, that was when my brother was sick, that was what led me to why we're sitting here right now. It was, he's in the right place because he needs the medicine that he's getting. Mm-hmm. But I can see the whole of him. I'm looking at him holistically. Yeah. And I started doing the Google searching. Yeah. And, looking around and on social media channels and like, well, what is there out there? And half of them I'd never heard of them. Yeah. And I'm like, well, okay, I might not have heard of that, but it looks like that might be appropriate. Yeah. How do I know these people? Yeah. Are they any good? Do they need to have qualifications for this? And that was what eventually, when I lost him, became his legacy, if you like. That I will find these people. Yeah. And
bring them together.
I will bring them together and they will all be people that have got a decent calibre.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame in a sense that even now, even for me when I'm saying I'm coming back around and I know it's part of the journey, but this is why I'm saying I think the youth are really onto something these days. Well done them. But I feel like a lot of us, it's taken us, most of our life not really understanding or knowing. And it's unfortunately through events like that or certain health conditions ourselves that we start to go, oh, okay.
Yeah, what else is there?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And I'm frustrated with myself because I feel like I've always had a certain answer and I've ignored it. So now it's like, okay, Holly, wake up. Let's start, helping others.
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's just stop kind of thinking, and just, get the results for people as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because that way it goes around, doesn't it?
And what a nice thing to be able to do. If you can do it, you know what I mean? Like if you got that education and you've got the desire to help others and people are lost and there isn't that base that you're saying and you can do it, why would you not do it?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think the time is now, Debs.
Yes. And it's become my passion as well since then. I mean, I started looking into it for him. And when we lost him, obviously down tools for a while with that and everything else. But then came back and started doing clinical hypnotherapy. Then learned all about the IV and IM, multivitamins, multi-nutrients, the water, the take it to make it supplements, all things that are backed by science.
Yeah.
Because they can't not be. They have to have the research behind them to satisfy me as a scientist first and then as a doctor. Yeah. And so I can go there and feel completely passionate and comfortable about sharing what it is that I'm sharing.
You've got to believe in it as well, haven't you, for sure. And the science is important, for sure. I've had all the IV drips as well back when I was on Harley Street, and the results are incredible.
Yeah.
The energy and your skin and everything, you can't really see inwards, can you? And even with water, I know with your water it's incredible, but like just even normal water, the last place it goes is the skin. You know, that's the last organ it touches. So if you're not drinking enough, it ain't ever getting there.
Precisely.
So 1, you have to drink enough, but then 2, drink the right thing, eat the right thing. It's education, isn't it? And if you can share, then share.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I see going forwards a lot of movement in this area for both of us.
Yeah.
And I am absolutely dying. I want to jump ahead. I want to go into the future right now for a couple of years and just have you back sitting here, buzzing, fizzing, doing it.
That's a goal.
And, you know.
A vision that I'll be back to share where we get to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm excited.
Yay. Well, thank you for coming in. We're going to do it again.
Amazing. Thanks for having me. It's been amazing. Thanks, Debs. Thank you.
Welcome.